Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate. If you're new here, I like to talk about all things luxury. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to come and subscribe and join our little luxurious family that we have here. We would love to have you. I want to talk about some important lessons that I have learned since really downsizing my handbag collection. So I would say that I started downsizing almost 2 years ago. And I started downsizing initially because I was moving. And you know how when you're moving, you kind of get into the thing of wanting to get rid of stuff. First of all, you want to make that move as easy as possible. And also you kind of just want to get a fresh start over in some place new. So I really just wanted to downsize everything. And that included clothes. I got rid of so many clothes. It included shoes. It included bags as well, of course. And I sold part of my collection back then. And then I would say about a year ago, I did like another little round of getting rid of bags, selling a couple bags. And then about 6 months ago in December, January, like late last year, early this year, I sold off a couple more bags and I kind of revamped my whole collection. So I sold just about everything that I had in December, January-ish. And I bought different bags because I wanted to switch things out, switch things up a little bit. And since that time, I've had about 6 bags total in my collection because if I purchase one, then I normally sell one. So the number has stayed around 6 for the last like 6 months or so. Now, let me explain the 6 bags thing because I do have a couple of other bags that I'm not really counting in this. I didn't really count anything that was under like $500, and I also didn't include my Chanel extra mini bag because it's kind of like an SLG. Like it's so small that it's kind of like an SLG. I don't count that as one of my main 6 bags. So I'm being a little bit selective when I say 6 bags total. It's 6 really high-end expensive designer bags that I have, not just 6 bags total. So I do have some other bags here too that I just don't use nearly as often, but the main 6 are what I want to talk about. Now, I say that I sold off about half of my collection because I did. And honestly, it was probably more than half because I think I probably had around 15 or so designer bags at the same time a couple years ago. And that's kind of when I realized that I had an issue. I had a bit of a shopping problem. I was hoarding designer bags and there was no reason for me to have that many and not use them. So it's been kind of therapeutic for me to get from that point to the point where I am now, being completely comfortable and happy with the amount of bags that I have. I just find myself, well, actually, let me hold off a second. Let me just go ahead and get into the list of things that I learned because I will cover that in the list too. So right now I feel like I have a bag for pretty much every occasion. If I want to just go and run some errands, I have a Birkin 30 as well as a Kelly 32 that I tend to use for those types of things. I've also been figuring out that I really only like to wear black. So since I tend to wear black so often, having a black bag, having black bags in general tends to be just a lot easier for me. Not every single one of my bags are black, but it's pretty close. I tend to use the Birkin 30 and the Kelly 32 as my like running around bags, especially the Kelly 32, just because it's so easy because it has the strap. Mine is in Swift leather and it already has scratches on it. It has scratches on the hardware, scratches on the bag. I purchased it that way. I bought it pre-loved and that doesn't bother me, but it actually makes me feel a little bit better. Just ignore the fact that I am missing a whole nail. It makes me feel better using the bag because I know that I'm not about to put those first scratches on it. I don't know. I feel like I have anxiety about putting like the first scratches or like the first marks or anything on a bag, and buying pre-loved just makes that a lot easier for me. So that bag has been my go-to like all fall and winter. So I've been using that bag for like a solid 6 months now since I got it. If I'm gonna go out, I'm going to like a date night or something like that, I have my Louis Vuitton Capucines bag and I also have my Chanel medium classic flap, which I love. That is a bag that I got most recently. I did an unboxing a couple weeks ago for it. I will link it below if you want to go see it. But those are 2 like really classic going out bags. Those are like dinner type of going out bags too. If I'm going somewhere that is like not dinner like and I really just want to have like a crossbody or something, this is the Chanel extra mini that I talked about that I didn't really count toward my 6, but it does fit my phone, it fits my cards, and I can take this out if I wanted to go like to a bar or club or something like that. So I have that need covered as well. I also have a Coach wallet on chain that was around $200, and that is perfect for not only going out to clubs and concerts and stuff like that, but also for traveling because it just fits right in a bag. A bag category that people tend to like want to check off is the travel bag category. To be honest, I don't travel all that much. And for my travel bag, I actually really like to use my Longchamp bag, or I like to carry a backpack. Not like a designer backpack. I carry those like big, like I feel like tech nerd backpacks, like the computer guy, like he's got like the backpack that has all like the different pockets in it and it's expandable. Like that is me 100%. I love a backpack that can carry everything, and I've been buying mine on Amazon. I will link the 2 that I have below because they are just, I love them so much. Like you can fit your whole world in there. I have bad anxiety when I fly. I don't like to fly. That's part of the reason that I don't travel a ton. So one thing that really reduces my anxiety is having fewer bags, having fewer things to worry about, and packing really light. So if I take a backpack that's like multi-purpose, like I can carry it around on the trip, I can, if I'm traveling for work, I can take it to the office, and I can also take it on the plane as my carry-on bag. Perfect. That's perfect for me. Sometimes I pack my whole trip in that backpack if I'm only going for like 3 or 4 days. And having one bag is like the biggest peace of mind ever. I don't need to add another designer bag. I don't need a Birkin 35. I don't need a Kelly 35 for travel purposes. I would love to have both of those bags, by the way, to take my laptop to like co-working spaces and stuff, but I don't need that. My point is that I don't need a travel bag section out of one of my 6 designer bags. And then I feel like you have to have your bag where you know that you are going to go and show out. You're going to bring out your best of the best. And when I do that, I am bringing out my Birkin 25. Should I get it? I feel like I should. Hold on. I didn't mean for this to turn into like a handbag collection video, but I figured I have it right here. I might as well bring it out. This is not my most worn bag in my collection, by the way. This is my favorite bag in my collection. It is the least practical bag in my collection. And I know that all of those things don't really go together that well, but yeah, I can't explain why I love this bag so much. It just does something to me. Can I fit this all the way to the crook of my arm? No, not really. Does it get caught on my Apple Watch? I mean, I guess I could fit it, but like, what are we gonna do with that? Oh God, I went past my elbow. Now I'm in, see, I do this every time and I get stuck. Every time I try to demonstrate. Oh my God. Okay, I was scared for a minute there. All right. It always gets stuck in my Apple Watch too, because I have the giant Apple Watch Ultra. This is my like, I'm coming out, I'm coming to impress, like I'm not here to play. This is that bag. I have that bag for that occasion. And another bag that I tend to use pretty often is my little Lululemon fanny pack. I wear a lot of athleisure and I tend to just dress for the gym because normally I'll get up, take a shower. I work from home, so I will get dressed in gym clothes so that I can go to the gym after work. So that way I don't have to change again. Like there's no point in me changing twice. If I need to run out and do something, I will usually just grab that Lululemon fanny pack because I can take it to the gym with me after, or I can go somewhere after the gym. So easy, and that is part of like my regular everyday lifestyle, so that doesn't require a designer bag. I say all of that to say that I have a bag for every occasion, and that is something that I really learned can happen with a lot fewer bags. Honestly, I think I could have 3 bags and be totally fine. I love having designer handbags though, so I like having all 6 of them, but if I only had 3, if I only had 2, I feel like I could really make it work and still have 2 like really versatile bags. Obviously, you don't need any designer handbags, but I'm just saying from someone who loves bags, I feel like I could make it work with 2 to 3. I just don't need nearly as much as I thought I did. Okay, sorry if the angle changed. I just ran out of space on my memory card. I really like to only wear simple colors. I wear a lot of black. I wear a lot of just solid colors. So having only a few bags works really well for me. It may not work as well for other people. If people like to wear really colorful outfits, maybe you need a pink bag, a green bag, a blue bag that are going to go with all of your beautiful different colored outfits. But I've learned that it actually works really well for me to have fewer bags rather than more bags because I can really focus on the ones that I really want. Like the bags that I have in my collection are like all like holy grail bags basically. And I love that. Like having a full collection of just like holy grail bags, like what? That is a dream. The other thing that I've learned is that I enjoy my bags more. I appreciate each one of them a lot more because I know that I can actually rotate them and use them. One thing that I ended up doing was creating a cost per wear spreadsheet. And I created this about 6 months ago, so I have tracked all of this year in it. And every single time I wear a bag, I make a note of it on this spreadsheet. And it might sound kind of crazy, and it's not necessarily so that I can figure out the cost per wear like my initial intention was, but now it's become more of a, okay, I want to be conscious of which bags I'm wearing more often than others, so that if it comes time to sell a bag and I decide that I want something different, which one makes sense to let go of and which one doesn't. It's also shown me that I have a pretty even rotation out of all of these bags, which I'm really proud of because that means that I have bags that fit my lifestyle really well. That means that I made some really good choices, and that means that I like all the bags that are in my collection right now. This also makes me more conscious about buying and selling bags. The decision that I have to make when I go and I look for a new bag now is, am I going to pick it up over the bags that I own already? Am I going to choose this bag over one of the bags that's on this spreadsheet that I've chosen a dozen times before? Or am I going to reach for this brand new bag because it fills a certain gap that's in my collection? And right now I feel like a new bag is hard to meet that standard. I would have to sell something to buy something usually, and I don't really see myself having a much bigger collection than this, unless all of a sudden, like I happen to start getting offers at the Hermes store, which, as you probably know, I don't really shop there, so that is highly unlikely. But if the offers just start rolling in or something, like then it might be a different story. But as long as I am just purchasing on the pre-loved market, which will probably be something that I do for a very long time, I'll most likely be doing one in, one out, because that's what works for me. I think the most important thing that I have learned by downsizing my collection a lot is that it's okay to be a little bit bored. It's okay to feel that feeling of like, okay, I want something new, I want something fresh, I want something different. And I just want to make it clear that even if I had one more bag, two more bags, three more bags, whatever the case is, 4, 5, 6, I would still always have that feeling to a certain extent. I would be like, oh, okay, but I don't have like a pink bag. Oh, I don't have this bag. I don't have this brand. I don't have this size. I would always feel like something is missing. And I feel like that's how a lot of people are when it comes to shopping in general, especially when it comes to wardrobe. I feel like this is very relatable because you're like, oh, if I just had that one blazer, if I just had this one like pair of jeans, the perfect pair of jeans, then my wardrobe would be complete and I wouldn't need to buy clothes anymore. And I feel like people just don't really reach that point with any type of collection. Like maybe you get bored with the whole thing and you move on to something else and you start thinking about something else. But if you're like a lover of designer handbags, you're not all of a sudden going to stop feeling like you like designer handbags. You're not just going to stop all of a sudden and be like, oh, well, I've seen everything there is to see and I have everything that I need to have and I'm going to keep browsing these sites, but I'm not going to want anything ever. That's just not how it works, and that's okay. I still look at pre-loved websites. If there's something that I really, 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 really want, then maybe I'll buy it, or maybe I will sell a bag to get it. I'm okay with that, but what I'm not okay with is buying something out of boredom and then having it and having spent money on it and still having that feeling. I feel like it's better to be bored with 6 bags in my collection than to feel bored with 15 bags in my collection. It's totally okay to feel bored, and sometimes you just need to let that feeling pass. And once that feeling passes, you can start appreciating the items that you have already again. The other thing is that I just don't worry nearly as much about not being here with the bags, if that makes sense. If I am like out of town and my bags are here, and when I had like 15 bags, I was like, oh my gosh, like my bags are all there. Like, what if something happens? Even with insurance, yes, it replaces the money, or at least some of the money, but it doesn't make you feel better about something having happened to your collection that you spent a lot of time on. And I just worry a lot less now because most likely there's only 5 bags at home because I got one of them with me most likely. So that just makes it a little bit easier. And I know that not everybody really worries about their bags when they're not home or when they're out of town or whatever the case is, but I think the less stuff that I own, the less that I worry in general. It almost feels like a weight is like lifted because I only have things that I really, really love at this point. And that is such a beautiful thing. Like, I don't think I ever really understood the whole minimalism thing or luxury minimalism a few years ago. I just didn't understand it, and I thought that I did, I think, but I just didn't understand the feeling that it gives you when you only own items that you really care about and that are really useful to you. Like, I get to use each and every one of my bags and I get to rotate them, and each of them serves a purpose, and I like having all of them. They all bring me joy, and I don't have anything else here taking up space that doesn't bring me joy. I'm also very excited to share my cost per wear spreadsheet that I made at the end of the year. The hard part's already done. I already got in the routine of making sure that I track down every time I wear a bag. And I want to see at the end of the year, like, what this all looks like. Maybe I'll make a graph. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Let me know if you have ever downsized your collection, if you have a smaller collection than you used to now, what that has taught you. Really, whatever you want to share in the comments, I would love to hear it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I will put my Instagram on the screen. I am very active there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys!